Today is October 8th, 2009. I want to encourage the people who are praying for relief in this land, because there are rumors and there are many people who have been warned by our mighty God that America is coming under judgment, and that there are as many as 7 cities and 1 nuclear reactor, or 10 cities, or 5 cities, or just Washington, D.C., depending upon whose warning you've heard or the fullness of the information you personally have received. But I want to encourage you to pray that these things will be gone, and also here are some scriptures that talk about what we should do. And in those days this is 2 Kings chapter 20, verse 1. In those days was Hezekiah sick unto death, and the prophet Isaiah, the son of Amoz, came to him, and said to him, Thus saith the Lord, Set thine house in order, for thou shalt die, and not live. Then he turned his face to the wall, and prayed unto the Lord, this is Hezekiah, saying, I beseech thee, O Lord, remember now how I have walked before thee in truth, and with a perfect heart, and have done that which is good in thy sight. And Hezekiah wept sorely. And it came to pass, before Isaiah was gone out into the middle court, that the word of the Lord came to him, saying, Turn again, and tell Hezekiah, the captain of my people, Thus saith the Lord, the God of David thy father, I have heard thy prayer, I have seen thy tears. Behold, I will heal thee. On the 3rd day thou shalt go up unto the house of the Lord. So, here is a Thus saith the Lord, delivered by a vetted biblical prophet, Isaiah, and it's completely annulled. Go back and tell him, I will heal him. Why? Because he prayed and he wept. So people pray and weep and come before the Lord with a full confidence that he is mighty to save and that he is merciful to spare. Okay, now, 1 Chronicles chapter 21. King David has committed a census, and God's mad about that. And so he tells him, he sends the prophet Gad, came to David and said unto him, Thus saith the Lord, choose thee either 3 years' famine, or 3 months to be destroyed before your foes, while that the sword of thine enemies overtake you, or else 3 days the sword of the Lord, even pestilence, in the land, and the angel of the Lord destroying throughout all the coasts of Israel. Now therefore advise thyself what word I shall bring to him that sent me. So Gad says, you have to choose. Now tell me, what should I go and answer to God? And David said to Gad, I am in a great strait. Let me fall now into the hand of the Lord, for very great are his mercies. Let me not fall into the hand of man. So he's saying, let it be the penalty of God. Let it not be man. Because he knows that men aren't merciful. So the Lord sent pestilence on Israel, and there fell in Israel 70,000 men. And God sent an angel to Jerusalem to destroy it. And as he was destroying, the Lord beheld, and he repented him of the evil, and said to the angel that destroyed, It is enough. See, so God looks down and sees the destruction, and it hurts him, and he says, that's enough. And the angel of the Lord stood by the threshing floor over Ornan the Jebusite. People, there's some interesting things. One, they took a census. And 2, it's at the end of harvest. That's what's happening now. The census is underway, the national census, and it's October. It's the time of the harvest. So that's an interesting parallel. I'm not saying anything's in that. I'm just saying that's interesting. That's all I'm saying. Now, I want to take you to Ezekiel 33, verses 14 to 16. Again, when I say unto the wicked, you will surely die, if he turns from his sin and does that which is lawful and right. If the wicked restore the pledge, give again that he had robbed, walk in the statutes of life, without committing iniquity, he shall surely live, he shall not die. None of his sins that he has committed shall be mentioned to him. He hath done that which is lawful and right, he shall surely live. He's saying, okay, you've been sinning, but if you will turn from your sin, you're going to live. But he says you have to give back the stuff you stole. You have to give back the stuff you stole, and you have to stop doing iniquity, and you have to walk in the statutes of life. Those are the commandments, people, God's laws, God's statutes. King David talks about that in Psalms over and over and over again. But what else should we not do? You can read through Jeremiah. In the book of Jeremiah, God lists many of the things that he detests, that he wants us to not do. And Jeremiah gives those warnings. So you can go and you can look up all those things and make sure you're not doing them. Repent before God. I also recommend, if you're having difficulty overcoming drugs, prescription or illegal, overcoming lust, overcoming anger, overcoming whatever, impatience, hard, difficult relationships, you don't like the thoughts you have, you don't like the dreams you have, I promise you those things are not inspired by God. They're inspired by the enemy. And you can go to a website called www.massdeliverance.com and there you're going to find several completely free audio tapes which are posted by Rich Keltner of Watchman's Radio. And I'll put a link over here, and you can go and listen to those, and you'll find that they're very, very encouraging, all biblically backed, and it gives the authority of the Christian to declare freedom from such things, and how to break a soul tie, and how to break family curses. All these things give a right to the enemy to come into your life. This is the man from Modesto. Please go to that website, and as always, please pray or be defeated.